Okay, we're going to take a little walk up the front walk here. We've got all kinds of flowers in bloom. On this lovely April day, we've got hyacinths, we've got clonodoxa, we've got, the crocuses are largely gone, corydalus, I think that one's Beth Evans, the pink one, daffodils of all kinds, more clonodoxa, Nymphopia is sprouting, getting ready for its later bloom. More daffodils. If we pan around here, we can see all kinds of exciting things. Daffodils. We have, I'll step in here, we'll see, this is Nymphopia nordiae, which has made it through the winter, greening up nicely, although it didn't die back fully this year, as it often doesn't do. And it's going to make beautiful leaf rosettes that'll get ever bigger. The crinums are beginning to come up. Let's check this guy over here. That's Crinum bulbispermum. They just push up under the old leaves and come up. We have back in here, this mulched area that I've removed some of the mulch is a nice bed of Amaryllis belladonna hybrids or selections made by the late Bill Welch in California, and I grow them here, and they have gorgeous flowers in August. The leaves die back in July. Here we have some zone pushing going on. I've uncovered a little plant here that has made it through the winter of Lobelia tupa. Those little red shoots there are going to be shoots this year. It didn't grow a lot last year. I put it in, but we had a dry year. But it survived the winter, and I think it'll put a lot more growth in this year. Probably was establishing roots last year. It'll be really cool to grow this wonderful Chilean species here in New York. If we go further, we can see out in the front area here that I've converted to all garden. There are just daffodils and hyacinths everywhere, and many other things emerging, to the point where people actually come by in their cars and stop to look, because everybody else here has lawns and bushes. There's some other zone pushing stuff here. I give a light mulch of only an inch or so to this Nurembergia repens, which is coming back, makes a nice little mat. I do need to divide a piece off and put it somewhere else too, because it likes to be moved around and, you know, bothered. It's one of those kind of plants that benefits from being moved into new areas to grow and minimal competition. This is Iphaeon, which is doing fantastic here. It's a good doer. You really see it more down south than here in New York. There's an arrowbred iris / bearded cultivar of some sort, more Iphaeons. They're just starting to flower. They make lush leaf growth and flowers come out for quite a while. We also have some anemone coronaria here with that lacy leaves. It'll flower soon. There are some already flowering on the property. It's another plant we don't normally see in New York, but got to try things out. Here we have phlox, creeping phlox is about to bloom. It's just beginning. It'll be a mat of color in like a week. More Amaryllis belladonnas here near the house. And over here, Nymphopia came up in the planter from some seed I was cleaning, and it got through the winter just fine. Really need to put it in the garden, and then lupine behind it. What's really cool over here is this little Oxalis obtusa from South Africa. You know, I throw out the leftover potting soil here near the wall where it's a little warmer, and this guy survived the winter just fine with no protection other than being in a great spot near the house. And it's been flowering like crazy the last month or so. The leaves did not have any dieback during the winter, which is impressive because usually obtusa is not quite that hardy. It's next to a big Amaryllis belladonna, which has multiplied. And we have Iris dardanus coming up here, one of the old arrowbred cultivars. A gardenia frostproof that was, well, barely frostproof. It has a couple of green leaves. And we have chlorogulum, a soap plant of California growing here. One rosette here, one rosette further back. It'll make a big tall spike of little white flowers that open up at night. And we'll walk a little further. We have, you know, this area here gets rather wet, but we have Phuopsis starting to grow out, which will make a carpet of pink. It's a hardy plant from the Caucasus. And we'll just take a little quick walk on the path here, where we have seedling daylilies from some crosses I made. These I think are Challenger babies, an old stout, which should be nice tall plants. Do have to spray for the deer though in this area because this isn't fenced, unlike the backyard. We have all kinds of daffs in bloom here that have been clumping up nicely. The sand patch is looking good with all the vicious cacti. There's some cholas. Haven't had them bloom yet. Maybe this will be the year. This prickly pear here, grown from seed, is the eastern species, and it flowers like crazy. You can see if you look close, there's all these red hips on them, or fruits, which I really should have picked off because now there'll be more of them. I also have some other western type Opuntias here, which will have interesting, pretty flowers in time as well. And last thing we'll look at over here, I'll just go back and we'll just do a little walkthrough of the hellebores back here that are in full bloom. Most of them are seed grown except for one from Trader Joe's, which is that guy there, a sterile hybrid. And we've got them in all colors here. These are seeds mostly. I think this group came from Pine Knot Farms. They sell seed in June when they get fresh seed, May or June. And you need to scratch it in the ground, then spread them out after they grow. Now I've had this colony here for a few years. It's doing really good. All different colors, shades, and they're making scads of babies, as hellebores will do. They're like little hens and chicks. These are the chicks by the mother that has dropped them. Let me move this old marigold stalk, and we can see many more of them here in all colors. I don't have strong yellows though, but I'm working on it. This guy's as close to yellow as I got right here. This one guy has kind of a greenish yellow color with nice little specklies inside. And you know, with the years they grow strong. And this is not the greatest spot. I mean, there's pine trees behind here. You can see a forsythia. And there's the pines of the neighbor. And so it gets pretty dry. And last summer was really dry. I watered them once or twice when the leaves laid flat on the ground. But yeah, they've done well. And the pine makes a thick needles everywhere. And they still manage to persist. They may slow down some of the babies coming up. I don't know. But the plants are doing great. And we just have tons of them here. And this is only but one of at least 3 major hellebore colonies I have on the property. And back here, we're now among the daffodils again. And I just love the colors they come up to be. They came from mixes from the Dutch growers mostly, and now you can see some of them have clumped up into nice clumps of all sizes. I especially like some of these butterfly ones, they call them, or crowned ones. They're kind of a little overdone, but they are pretty though. They really do make a show. Look at that beauty. Isn't that pretty? Okay, very nice plants. So, yeah, this is the wrap up for this morning here in April in the garden.